Make sure that you read through all of the definitions on the first page of the packet. There are quite a few vocabulary words. We've also talked about a lot of these words in the previous unit. We talked about subset before, where it's just a part of a bigger set. We talked about complement, and we talked about the different notations. Remember, complements like whatever's not in the set. So if this was our universal set and this is H, then everything that's not in H is in the complement. Okay, intersection is where they overlap. We talked about this symbol before for intersection. Union is what they have when you put them all together, and you use a U for that. The difference is when we're subtracting. We've done that before as well. The first example says, what's the sample set? So if we're talking about tossing a coin, our sample space would be, you can either get heads or you can get tails. Okay, and you can put that in braces. We can abbreviate and put heads and tails like that. It says drawing a marble from a bag that contains 2 red. So we'd have 2 reds, 3 blues, and 1 white. You could also say like red 1, red 2, blue 1, blue 2, blue 3. You could do something like that. Example 2, it actually goes on to the next page. We're using the universal set that's given at the top. Okay, and we have 3 subsets we're looking at. So we want to know where does A, this symbol means intersect. So where does it overlap with B? So what do they have in common? They have 2 in common, and they have 4 in common, and that's it. A intersects C, so we're looking at these 2 sets. They have 3 and 5 in common. B intersects C, we're looking at these 2 sets. There is nothing that they have in common, so it's going to be the empty set. You can either write empty braces, or we can write the symbol for empty set. A union B means we put everything in the 2 sets together. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to add 6 and 8 to that. A union C, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to add 7 to that. Remember, you don't repeat, so like 3's in both, we don't write 3 twice. 5's in both, we don't write 5 twice. B union C, we're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. A, the complements of A, remember that means complement. It could also be written like this. There's different ways we can write complement. So we're looking at the universal set, and we're saying what is not in A. So we've got 1 through 5 in A, so 6 through 9 is going to be in the complement. Complement of B, we've got some even numbers here, so we're going to put our odd numbers. Complement of C, C is only 3, 5, and 7, so everything else goes in the complement. A minus B. So when we talked about this in the last section, I told you guys it helps if we write out the first set that you're dealing with, and then minus B means cross out whatever's in B. So we're going to cross out the 2 and we're going to cross out the 4. So that just leaves us with 1, 3, and 5. B minus A, I'm going to start out with B, 2, 4, 6, 8. And I'm going to cross out whatever is in A. So cross out the 2 and cross out the 4, and I'm just left with 6 and 8. A minus C, so I'm going to start out with A and cross out whatever is in C. So I'm left with 1, 2, and 4. C minus A, I start with C and I cross out what's in A, so I'm only left with a 7. B minus C, 2, 4, 6, 8, there's nothing to cross out, so I'm just going to put that as my answer. C minus B, 3, 5, 7, there's nothing to cross out, so again, it's just going to be 3, 5, 7. Okay, our Venn diagrams. So we've got, it says out of 40 students, so 40 is our total, 14 are taking chemistry, 29 are taking English, and 5 are taking both. In our last unit, we stressed that we wanted to start where both happen, so we've got a 5 in the middle. Okay, 5 are taking both, so now let's work backwards. 29 have to be in the English circle total. We already have 5 there, so that means 24 goes here. 14 have to be in the chemistry circle total, so that means 9 would go here because 9 and 5 makes 14. We said there's 40 students total, so we need to know how many are in the circle right now. If we add these up, this makes 14 plus another 24 makes 38, and there's supposed to be 40 total, so I have to put 2 out here to get our 40. So how many students are taking chemistry but not English? That's our 9. How many are taking chemistry or English? So either one. So all of these, 38. How many are taking exactly one of the 2 classes? So this group of 9 is taking 1 class, and this group of 24 is taking 1 class. So we're going to put those 2 together to get 33. How many students are not taking either class? That's the 2 we have on the outside. Okay, the next example, it carries on to the next page. It says a group of students was surveyed to determine which of the 3 foods they liked. Some students liked more than one type of food, and some did not like any of the types of food. So we've got a Venn diagram here, and it says how, explain in words what each number in the Venn diagram represents. So this would kind of take a while. I'm not going to go over each one. I'm not going to write them all out, but I'll talk about each one. So the 10 on the outside means they don't like any of these 3 foods. There's 4 that only like pizza. There's 3 that only like hamburgers, and there's 3 that only like tacos. There's 2 that like pizza and tacos, but don't like hamburgers. There's 3 that like pizza and hamburgers, but don't like tacos. There's 1 that likes tacos and hamburgers, but not pizza. And then there's 5 that like all 3. How many total students were surveyed? We'd have to add up all of these numbers. So we're going to add all those up real quick. We're going to add up 4, 3, and 2, 2, 5, and 1, and then that 3, and then the 10 that are on the outside. There were 30 total. And then it says answer the following using pizza for P, H for hamburgers, and T for tacos. So how many are in the hamburger set? We're going to add up these numbers in the hamburger circle. We've got 8, 9, 10, 11. How many are in the pizza circles? We got 6 and 8 make 14. Taco circle, 2 and 3 make 5, 10, 11. And then we've got P union T. So that means pizza and taco all together. So everything in pizza, which was 7, 12, 14, plus this one, 15, plus this one, 18. P intersects T, so pizza intersects taco right at these 2. So 2 and 5 make 7. H intersects T, so hamburger and taco intersect here. That makes 6. P intersects T intersects H, so where do they all overlap? That's 5. If I put them all together, we said that would be 20. Now we have the complement of hamburger and the complement of taco. So if I do the complement of hamburger, I want to cover up all the hamburgers.
All spring sport athletes. This includes track, tennis, flag football, baseball, and softball. At this time, please release all spring sport athletes to the gym. Thank you.
So the complement of hamburger is these guys. The complement of taco is going to be leaving out these. So those 2 numbers together would be where the complements overlap. So 4 and 10 make 14. Now I've got the complement of hamburger, which is all of these, if I'm covering up all of hamburger, union with taco, which is going to mean I'm going to put back the tacos. So I got to add up everything except the 3 and the 2. So that should give me 35. If I'm everything that's in the complement of hamburger, everything that's in the complement of pizza, so everything that's in the complement of hamburger would be these 3 or these 4 things. Everything that's in the complement of pizza would be all of these. Everything that's in the complement of taco would be all of these. And I'm saying union all of them. So the only thing that would be left out would be that 5. And now where do the complements all overlap each other? So complement of hamburger, what does that have in common with the complement of pizza? And what does it have in complement with the complement of taco? Oops, complement of taco would be cover these up. They all had the 10 in common. Okay, all of them had the 10 in common.